how can you ensure your bargaining team is representative of your faculty mix at all levels? So one thing that we have done at Cornish to kind of like draw folks into the bargaining team is making informational sessions and comment sessions about sort of contract negotiation issues and also contract language just really open so that people can drop in. And if we're talking about Article 6 evaluations, anybody can come drop in and have conversation with us about evaluations while we're making notes about what we want to change for new contract language. So it's really accessible to get involved, and sometimes it piques interest and can draw people over to be sort of more interested in participating in the bargaining. And we don't have any issue at my institution of there being any kind of gatekeeping for our bargaining team. We are always looking for more people on our bargaining team, and we are never looking for less. But I know that is not true at all institutions. So I'm hoping others on the panel can sort of weigh in on what that looks like at their worksite.
I can share just a little bit quickly this time.
Great, thank you.
About how we try to make sure everyone is represented because the person who's representing them has nothing to lose. It's a unique position I'm in that pretty much everyone at TCC knows that I used to be a dean there, and that I choose to be a part-time faculty member now, and that this is the reason I'm doing it is to fight the powers that be well, once being on their side. So adjuncts are regularly communicated with, and I've built trust with them around letting me know what's going on. And when they do, I always ask them, is this something I can share with your name, without your name? Not at all. And really try to make it very clear, like, what level of movement on this would you like for us to take? So it's not just in bargaining, it's in all aspects of representing them. But as all of you probably do, we made sure to communicate over and over again, and then with anonymous surveys on what are you really hoping that we get out of this current negotiation? What big wins would make you proud? What's an essential for you to make, like, we have to get this in the contract from your perspective? And it was anonymous so that folks felt like they could very much just say what they needed to say.
That's great. I have a quick follow-up question about the anonymous survey, which sometimes we don't always get great responses over at Cornish. Is there anything that you're doing at Tacoma to boost responses, or are there any sort of key questions that you have found have really generated, like, what I think the question, what win do you want to see, is a very evocative and cool question. Are there anything like that you found create good, valuable responses?
I wanted to respond a little bit to what you said, Analea, about you representing adjuncts because you have nothing to lose. I think we have to understand that ultimately, until adjuncts will start speaking for ourselves, then we don't actually have true power. Because if we continue, like we did an anonymous survey too about bargaining, we had very high participation from it. A lot of it was Kate hounding people. I also think it might have been one of the first times that adjuncts had received a survey that was specifically like talking to us. And we had, we had some of us, it came from the union, but Kate signed off on it. It came from her email. It came from a fellow adjunct. So that's like step one. And then we ask people, of course, like, can we contact you? Like, give us your name. And then it's no longer anonymous. And I know you're doing the same organizing strategies, but I just want to be really clear that, like, the power that we have is the power to withhold our labor, and if management doesn't see us, if they see full-time faculty or student services people or a sympathetic dean speaking on our behalf, then they have no reason to believe that we would ever withhold our labor. You know, they have no reason to believe that we would ever take the action that, you know, that would hurt the most. So I just want to say, like, that's great. And we need to figure out ways, and I think it's through like building teams so you're not the only one out there, and then slowly like, look, now there's a letter, and we told people we will not release this letter, we will not send it to management and the board of trustees until we have 100 signatures on it. So people knew they weren't going to be the first one. Okay, I've said enough.
Thank you very much.